Ogechi Mama Put was the talk of the town. Her roadside restaurant was famous, drawing crowds from far and wide. University students, nearby workers, and even travelers from distant places flocked to her spot to enjoy her irresistible local dishes. Her food was so delicious that anyone who hadn't tasted it felt as if they were missing out on something magical. Her restaurant was always buzzing with activity, her workers busy, and money flowed in thousands. Ogechi had become a local celebrity, known for her perfect meals that had no rival. But not too far from Ogechi's thriving joint was another food seller, a humble woman who had a small, local dishes restaurant. Unlike Ogechi, her sales were poor. She had only one worker, and despite her efforts, customers rarely visited. As her rival's success grew, so did her frustration and pain. She couldn't understand why her business was struggling so much. She started to believe she was cursed. Desperate for answers, she sought out prayer houses, fasted for 30 days, and followed every spiritual advice she received, hoping to break the chains of bad luck that seemed to bind her. One day, Mr. Okori, a well-known drunkard in the city, was having his usual meal at Ogechi Mama Put. As he chewed on his food, something unusual happened. He bit down on something hard. Pulling it out, he was shocked to find what appeared to be a human finger. He immediately caused a scene, but no one paid him any mind. Everyone knew Mr. Okori's reputation for being inebriated and unreliable. They laughed off his complaint, assuming it was just the ramblings of a drunken man. But Okori couldn't shake the disturbing experience. He began to wonder if there was something dark and mysterious about Ogechi's success. Determined to uncover the truth, he set out on a mission. Every night, Ogechi closed her restaurant at exactly 10 p.m. and opened again at 5 a.m. It seemed like normal business hours, but Mr. Okori's suspicions grew stronger. One fateful night, as Mr. Okori staggered home after a drinking session, he passed by the city's mortuary hospital. It was around midnight, and to his shock, he saw Ogechi herself. She was dressed in white, sneaking out of the hospital at that late hour. At first, he dismissed it, thinking it was his drunken state playing tricks on him. But the image haunted him. The next night, he hid behind a vehicle outside the mortuary hospital, determined to see if what he had witnessed was real. At exactly 11:14 p.m., Ogechi appeared again, this time carrying a gallon. She emerged from the mortuary, moving quickly and cautiously. This time, Okori knew it wasn't a drunken illusion, something was definitely wrong. Meanwhile, the struggling restaurant owner sat at home in tears. Her husband, noticing her sadness, approached her gently. "What's wrong, my dear?" he asked, his voice full of concern. She sobbed, "My business is no longer moving. It feels like I'm cursed. My neighbor Ogechi, her restaurant is booming. She just bought a car, and here I am, struggling. Aren't we in the same business? Why is hers better than mine?" Her husband embraced her softly and wiped her tears. "No, my dear, you're not cursed. Success comes in time. Let's keep trusting God, and one day, things will be better." As the woman continued to cry in her husband's arms, Mr. Okori stood outside the mortuary, heart racing and mind spinning. What could Ogechi possibly be doing in the mortuary at such an hour? Why was she carrying a gallon? And what exactly was the secret behind her mind-boggling success? Watch out for part 2.